What's going on, guys? Crypto Hoy here. So I'm gonna go straight to the point about what's going on with Hate Inu. And so usually around this time, okay, well, first let me just address one thing. Okay, this is not a rug pull. All right, this is not a rug pull. A rug pull will look something like this. Let me just bring this over here real quick. So we can see that a rug pull is similar to a Squid Games rug pull. Okay, when it's very obvious, pretty much when it goes all the way straight down. Now, what we've seen here, though, okay, is a soft rug pull, or at least that's what it looks like. Why? Because a soft rug pull, it doesn't happen immediately. It takes time, and it's a gradual fall. And the reason why it's called a soft rug pull is because it's hard to detect. It's really hard to kind of point out exactly what is the cause of this. And it's hard to blame it on the devs, on the owner. And most of the time, the devs and owners, if they do it, they can get away with it. So, and this is what we're seeing right now, because the price, it is below the stage one price. All right, so if I were to just compare it here with the tokenomics, we see here that the stage one price was at 0.000085, and right now it's at 0.000081. So it is below stage price. Now, what do we tend to see here most of the time? Usually when we see a price fall, not just below the launch price, okay, when there's like 3 zeros and then 145, now we're at 4 zeros and pretty much below stage one at a point 0.000085. What we tend to hear a lot of the times is that either one, this is a you didn't do enough research on this. That's one excuse. The other common excuse is we're in a bear market, we're in a recession, we're in a crisis. That's the second excuse. The third excuse sometimes will be something like this is a long-term project. People are like paper hands. You only lose when you sell. That's a very popular one that I hear being thrown around, which is if you hold, then you haven't realized your loss if you hold right now until it goes back up, because there's going to be some bull run coming up at the end of this year or next year. Another excuse is that this token was intended for the next bull run, which is not right now. It's going to be sometime in the future. It's for the next bull run. So we hear like different things like this going on. But my thing that I kind of question is that especially the first excuse, which is you haven't done enough research and stuff like that. It's like, how much research can you really do on a startup token, on a startup project? Like, how much information is out there really on a brand new project that hasn't produced any products at all at this time, hasn't produced any services at this time? All right, which is why it's a crowdfunding. Okay, an ICO is a crowdfunding. All right, when we invest into these tokens, we are trusting that they're being legit, they're being honest, and that yes, there is risk when it comes to these investments, which is true, and that's something that we need to do. We need to be diligent about, and yes, do our own research. But what I mean is that on the project itself, there's not much around there to like really grab on. All right, and when we like type in the name, let's say when we Google it and we kind of like look around and search around, we start seeing things like this, which is Hate Inu Price to pump 3,000%, which is incorrect, by the way. Is some sort of wrong pricing glitch or something that caused this to reflect this, but that's not what happened. We see here it again at Washington City Paper, same thing again, pretty much saying the same thing, that explodes by 3,000%. And of course, this is going to create some sort of hype. But other than that, there's not really much around to kind of search for or Google around, because this is a startup. Okay, so that's something that we need to understand. This is a startup token, okay, a startup project. So it does want to provide some utility when it comes to the Hate Inu poll and voting system and stuff like that, but it isn't out there yet. They're still working on it. Hopefully, they're still working on it. All right. And so those are like things that I kind of don't really like whenever I see these type of things happening after the post launch, after the token has been launched, and then we just see a drop in price, fall in price. And yeah, So I would like to hear what do you guys think about this, about the current price of Love Hate Inu. In my opinion, okay, it doesn't look pretty. It's not a pretty picture. It's not a pretty chart. It looks like a soft rug pull. And understand the difference. It's not a rug pull. It's not this right here. All right. This is an actual rug pull. All right, like Squid Games. And this right here is painting more of a soft rug pull. And it's really hard to detect. And it's really hard to like point out somebody at fault, which is why this is like a quote unquote a smart way of or a safer way to be able to dump the price and not really like worry about any issues, because well, it's hard to detect. But anyways, that's one thing I wanted to mention here. The other thing also is on the pre-sales itself. Okay, so if you guys go into my community tab on my website, I'm sorry, on my YouTube channel, so when you click on the community tab right here, I posted this like 3 days ago, and this right here was intended for big guys, because I also covered that on a previous video, because big guys are having like 14 stages, okay, which is crazy. They're having like 14 pre-sale price stages for this token, and they haven't even launched yet, okay, and they are going to launch sometime in June. It looks like on June 15 or something. But I pretty much mentioned this. Okay, this is how I feel about pre-sales now. And I pretty much wrote a pre-sale with more than 3 price stages is no longer a pre-sale. Basically, it's slightly launched with in-post vesting until the official launch date. What does this mean? Is that whenever there's a pre-sale with a whole bunch of stages, okay, and not to pick on Love Hate Inu today, but like we see here, different stages, and just as an example, okay, we see here that, you know, there's 8 stages, and big guys have almost double the amount. They have like 14 stages, 15 stages. So what happens whenever you have that many stages on a pre-sale? Pretty much the pre-sale has lost its sparkle, because the whole purpose of a pre-sale is to kind of get early investors in on it, okay, to jump into this wagon and not make so much noise. So when it actually launches, then you're going to want a lot of other people to join this. So you don't want to make too much of a noise, because that's the whole point of a pre-sale, is to get those who discovered it. Hey, you discovered it, and perhaps it could be a gem, you know. But that's not what we see here. Now, whenever there's a pre-sale, there's so much marketing going on, and with all that marketing on the pre-sale, it loses the pre-sale sparkle. It loses its shine. It kind of, I would say, it loses the purpose of the pre-sale. All right. And if you add so many stages, it's like they're mainly focused, like the devs, the owners of the token, they're really pushing hard to sell the token, because that's what they're focused on about. They're trying to get as many people as they can to buy the pre-sale. And then what's that's going to happen once it launches is obviously it may pump. Okay, I'm not saying that it may not pump, but it may pump maybe like 4x, 10x, or even more. But it's going to be short-lived, and that's if it pumps, because sometimes it doesn't even do that. It just straight just dumps. Okay, why? Because other people that were going to buy this token maybe at the post-launch, they already got it. They had enough time to decide. They had enough time to make a choice to get on this pre-sale. So that's why I said that it has like in a sneaky way, okay, slightly like in a very sneaky way, they have launched it. Like pretty much on these pre-sales, whenever there's like so many pre-sales, different price stages, it basically has launched underneath everybody's nose. And there's an extra thing, okay, like the cherry on top is it comes with in-post vesting. Just like vesting, you don't have access because they're locked. You cannot sell or anything. That's pretty much what happens here as well. All right. So once you're buying the pre-sale and it's going on for like 10 months, like big guys, you're not going to be able to access them, which is like a forced vesting or in-post vesting on your tokens, because you can't claim them, you can't trade with them, you can't do anything until the official launch date. Okay, that's when you actually finally have access to like 100% of your tokens. You claim it, and then you're able to do whatever you want, either to hold or sell. But that's pretty much it, guys, about this. So feel free to share your thoughts. What do you guys think about Love Hate Inu? Now, can they recover? I believe they can recover, but usually when it drops really low like this, it makes it like 3 times or like 4 times as hard to get back up because now Love Hate Inu is on the clock. What I mean by that is that they're on a watch. People are watching them to see how they're going, what they're going to do then, right? They have all these funds from the pre-sales that they have raised. So now they have to start working on the actual polls. They need to provide value now. They have already crowdfunded, they have raised money, millions of dollars. So now they need to focus not just on marketing, but actually building this, voting, this poll system here. So they need to start working on this right here. Once they start seeing some sort of results, once they start seeing like their website being updated and actually providing some utility, then there's a chance that people are going to buy this token if they see potential, if they see that this project has a future. But if they don't, then we're going to see it here on this graph. People are not going to be interested in buying this anymore, and they might as well just look for the next pre-sale, because on a pre-sale there's a high probability of this high of a price versus a recovery price. All right, and I'm going to say that again. People nowadays are looking more into, they're like seeking new pre-sales, because on a pre-sale the probabilities of a pump is higher than the probabilities of a pump on an existing project. Okay, because there's just so many of tokens being ICOs, pre-sales going on like every single day. There's like a new token every single day, and so there's those pumps on those pre-sales after launches, they seem more appealing. Not that it happens all the time, but the probabilities of that happening are most likely compared to like right here trying to recover it. All right. And also, not to mention the excitement part of this, okay? Which is why I always look at, these type of investments, more of a gambling type of thing, a high risk type of, gambling, I guess, like a casino type of thing, because it doesn't matter how much knowledge you have about cryptocurrency, you always have to take into account that you may lose. And that's why I've made my own strategy, which is free. Okay, I'm not like selling you guys or anything. You guys can go check it out in the description down below or here in the corner. My strategy on what I do on pre-sales is very simple. It is very, I guess, simplistic in a way. And I'm not trying to like make like 10x, 100x. That's not the point of that. My point is to help you reduce and mitigate risk. Mitigate loss, and be aware of the high risk of these type of investments or purchasing these types of tokens. Okay, and that way you have to just keep in mind that in some of these investments you're gonna have to take an L, you're gonna have to lose, take a loss. And on some of them, you're gonna, take a W. You're gonna win. You're gonna make some gains, and it's all about mitigating loss and improving your chances of winning. All right, of making some money. And so there you go, guys. I just wanted to share with you guys this. Share your thoughts, what you guys think about all of this down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.